1990. These two team up with the idea of crossing the world. We got some sponsorship, but honestly not very much. We camped, we hitchhiked, we started the Marco Polo. We got as far as the Berlin Wall just before it came down, which was fantastic because we got to hitchhike across the Eastern Germany corridor to Berlin. We got to walk across Checkpoint Charlie. How scary, was very scary. And there's me picking off my bit of the Berlin Wall. That was possibly the bit that made the Berlin Wall fall about a month later. On my way to Berlin, Hitching. I don't remember what that was. Oh yes, oh that was in Holland, possibly Amsterdam. A museum to phalluses. Camping and hitchhiking through Germany. Suddenly Nina says she's got a fart. Really big fart. Oh, okay. So we waited. And then it seemed to be worse, so we took her to a doctor. Turned out to be a vet. And it was closed. And then Mrs. Muller turned up. She just drove by, picked us up and took us to the hospital. Good idea. Nina, we found out, was not pregnant. No, we got several confirmations of that. They eventually found out she got appendicitis. So she had to have it out. So we stayed 3 very unexpected weeks, 2 or 3, with Mr. and Mrs. Muller. And they were fab, and they had cake for breakfast. And I just stayed with them. And then we celebrated with beer. Okay, that's Nina and some bridges somewhere. I think that's the lake that's between Germany and Switzerland. Okay, don't know. Ooh, some sort of churchy arrangement. Oh! Nina proving that she had an appendicitis. Obviously went down a luge thing. And that might be Potsdam. No, I don't know. Cool. 1990, after Germany, we tried finding Pietrangeli in the mountains, in the Alps, because that was the only mountains I knew in Italy. And so we got to Venice, which was nice. We camped outside and walked through the town. Venice was good. Yeah. And then we hitched south and found out they were the Apennines. And we did find Pietrangeli. And Nina got to meet the relatives of her dad. One great-granddad of whom repopulated the village after the Nazis depopulated it. In some kind of revengey thing. Never be an ally of someone you can't trust. And there's the fellow who repopulated it. And there's 2 of the kids. We stayed with all the people there. In the restaurant particularly. Fab. And the best water I've ever drunk. 1990. We hitched through Turkey. And also got buses. Nina found a cat to play with, which is nice. And I liked the biscuits called Chuck. And the Afghan government monopoly. Because, yeah, we were close to Afghanistan at the time. And that's Istanbul, the Red Mosque. And okay, we had small tea somewhere. I think that's in Istanbul. Woke up, couldn't breathe. Me and my motorbike jacket. Oh yeah, that's some of the wall of ancient Iran. The museum. Oh, Alexander the Great's sarcophagus. I think that's Hagia Sophia. That's the main thing in Turkey. 1990. Gary decided he wanted to go to Hattusa, so I had to hitchhike, well, a tractor. Oh, that's Cappadocia. In Cappadocia. Oh, that was the minaret I went up, which was fab and weird. Oh yeah, we had to make a phone call. I got into town and they didn't know what I wanted, so they got someone who could speak English, and then he rang a taxi for me. So, we got a taxi back to where Nina was hanging out. They're the guys that rang their friend, who then got the taxi. That's Mr. Taxi ringing guy. He was the big man in the village. And yeah, we did use buses because, you just can't rely on your tractor hitchhiking. 1990. Pamukkale, FS, and the big cabbage. Yep, we thought the cabbage was so funny, we had to take a photograph of it. One photo a day. Gary and Nina, big tour. Trying to get to... I'm not sure. I think it might have even been Hong Kong. Yeah, Nina got a camel ride, which is nice. That's a statue of Tyche in the Athens Museum, I think. There, the farmers I hitchhiked a lift with. They were going to Hattusa. Then I had trouble getting back to the hotel where Nina was ensconced. That's Cappadocia. There's Nemrut Dag, with the head of Tyche and Hercules and various others. And that's Gary in the hot pool in a room in Pamukkale, Turkey. Fab. Pamukkale, Turkey, 1990. We met up with these fellas, and I think they fed us tea. And that's the head of Tyche on Nemrut Dag, goddess of good fortune. And that's Nina playing at being a god, sitting on one of the thrones. And there's the bodies and thrones. And there's another geezer in Turkey who sort of befriended us. Pamukkale. Gary on the colourful rocks of Pamukkale. Oh yes, that was Gallipoli, a sort of chalk mountain carving. Turkey. 1990. Nina got her to be a little princess in the grotto. It's not easy to get your half Italian girlfriend to play nice. There's me in a big mirror in the History Museum in Istanbul. Don't know what that says now. Oh, that's Hattusa. That was my ticket getting into Hattusa. I was the only person there at the time. Hitchhiking, the tractor. I took so many photos of that. The American fellow we met in a cave system, rolling a stone, helping Jesus out or something. Nina and the baby chicks. I'm glad she didn't know what happened to them. Nina and the two other fellas in the cave system, who apparently grabbed a bum, but she didn't tell me, so therefore I was to fault because I didn't beat them up because I didn't know about it. Or so. 1990, we had to fly to Pakistan. Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait, and as a consequence we couldn't get into Iran, even though we had a letter from Mohammed's right-hand man in Iran. And so we had to come back. Ooh. Lots of rocks. Anyway. That was my favourite castle in Pakistan. Oh, that first ride on a tuk-tuk. There was loads of taxi drivers grabbing at us as we came out of Karachi airport, and we ran for the tuk-tuk. And that's a camel cart running past the bank, as you do. When we went to see Nemrut Dag, when we went to see the castle, there was no hotel, no cafe, and eventually we went to where the police car was parked outside a house, big house, and we stayed with them. They just invited us to stay, which was very nice because it got us out of the hole, because the train was not till tomorrow. It was fab. What was the name of the castle? Tyche, yeah. 1990. Me, Nina, and the Australian guy who lost his glasses later on that same day, I think. We helped him out hitchhike across the world. Well, get around. We were in Pakistan, and yeah, the buses were full. And that's Tyche, the castle. I think Tyche was actually the burial mound opposite the castle. But anyway, it got us to this wonderful castle, which we knew about because in Karachi, the tourist information guy had about 20 photos, no posters, no maps. And one of those photos was of Tyche, and I said, I want to go there. And that was a mausoleum that we went to visit just outside Karachi. Karachi, nice. No, Karachi. They don't have sewers like they did 2,000 years ago in Mohenjo-daro. No, they use the whole river. After Pakistan, I went to India. I had the Taj Mahal. Just me and the Taj for an hour, and maybe an hour and a half. All the other tourists had gone. The Lonely Planet guidebook said that the closing hour was earlier, and they were wrong. Oh, that was my favourite ever statue in Calcutta. She was beautiful. Cold as stone. Oh, wow, there's me picking a hole in the Berlin Wall, and one of the strange creatures of Thailand, where I got to at the end of my journey. That's in Nepal. The two kids were kind of surprised that in the middle of the winter I was heading off over the pass from the Helambu to the Langtang Pass, yes. I think that's in northern Pakistan, the glacier we went into. That's in Kashmir, the Indian side of Kashmir. A guy called Ghulam. Wow, 30 years ago I remember his name. He was a fab guy. Him and his dad persuaded me to go with them. They had a Dutch auction. That was the camel called Ragu in Rajasthan. Yeah, the three of us went off in amongst the tents and organised our own camel trek, like explorers of old. That's me skiing near Gulmarg in Kashmir, Indian Kashmir. That's apparently Gunner Silencer, but as you can see, a young boy in the background, he knows better. Silencers don't make things silent. Less noisy, but not silent. Oh, that's me swinging from a bridge in Scotland. Oh, that's the paw print of a tiger that walked past our tents while we were in Nepal in the Chitwan National Park. That's the head of Tyche, Nemrut Dag Mountain in Turkey. That's Nepal again. The head of the mother rhino that was so close to us and quite a danger to us. And we did have a guide, fortunately. Oh, that's me hitchhiking an elephant. Well, he offered me a lift, and I got down when I got to the Nepalese embassy, so I suppose it was a hitchhike. Although he wanted me to pay. It was kind of a ransom and I ran. The lovely lady I stayed with in the Helambu with the Nescafe tin. Because at the time, yeah, I was surprised. Nescafe here? That's in Calcutta. Looks very, very English. Because... oh, I think that is Thailand, one of the monasteries that we got to afterwards. Oh, that's the top of the Helambu in Nepal, the walk. That's looking over the mountains from the pass between the Helambu and the Langtang. In winter, it shouldn't be walked. Apparently, I was the first person to survive that walk in 10 years. Previously, it'd been 2 Dutch guys. Yeah, it was quite dangerous. I did have to break into the emergency hut. Well, I made it into the emergency hut. And set fire and put all my emergency stuff on. That's all my gear drying, because, you know, I like to wash them. And he was the Austrian cook that we did a walk with in Nepal. I say we, me and another fella. Yeah, we walked through the Chitwan National Park. Because, Gary, climbing up mountains in Nepal, playing a bee in Iwo Jima. I think that's where they raised the flag. Yeah, big mountains. And big sunrises and sunsets. I think that was the one where I came through the pass and looked down on the Langtang Valley and was kind of surprised I was still alive. Don't walk through snowy mountain passes in the winter on your own without any guidebook or knowledge or anything. Oh, that was definitely the sun as I came through. And then a small time later it turned red. Which was good because, yeah, you don't want to be walking in the dark with a twisted ankle, which could so easily have happened in deep, deep snow over rocks. And yeah, that was also Nepal, 1990. Nepal, 1990. The father left the children to look after the hostel because he didn't expect any tourists. Going from the Helambu to the Langtang in the winter time. They were surprised to see me. You know, just kids. I don't know, maybe 12 and 11 they were. Raptors up in the mountains, and of course religion and terrorists to make food. Gotta cut into that mountain. Mountain sceneries. That was the big sunset I saw as I came over the top. So pleased not to have twisted my ankle. Oh, that, I think, was the place that I found on the very top of the pass and I had to break my way and kick my way through the wooden door. Because I thought it might be cold out here in winter. Me, I think with some kind of Spritey drink rather than beer. Yeah, I took a picture of my stick as I was walking up the snow-covered landscape, using my stick to get from one rock to the next because it was all covered in snow. And of course, bridges. Nepal, 1990. It's 90. The Juggernaut, somewhere in India, south of Calcutta. Can't remember where. I think that was part of the same temple complex. Oh, that was Calcutta. Guy pulled me along on my rickshaw. A rickshaw pulley guy. And then there were anti-tourist riots. And he wanted loads of money from me. I just jumped up and down with my rucksack on until eventually they let me go. But yeah, being surrounded by 20-odd fellas wasn't fun. Oh, yeah, a very inspirational lady. Doing the Langtang trek in Nepal. And my favourite ever statuette. She was beautiful. That was in, I think, Calcutta Museum. That's the middle of Nepal, Kathmandu. And I like the flowers and things. And a fella in a kilt that I met in Calcutta, just outside Victoria's statue. Yeah, he had a story. It was all weird. Man making bricks. I found it fascinating. Because, of course, that's what my dad does, is build. Oh, and I think that was the little train up to Darjeeling. Dharamsala I did go to, but I think that was to Darjeeling. Cool, India.